What's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out Black Diamond Guns and Gear. I'm Josh.
And I'm Josh.
Today we have, well, a couple, but what we think is literally the best budget pistol for concealed carry.
Now, there's a lot of budget firearms on the market. You can get into tons, but are they the best? That's the reason why we narrowed it down to what we have on the table to be the best budget firearm on the market. Now, when we say budget firearm, what are we saying? Sub $300?
I'm going to say, as far as quality, cheapness,
We won't say cheapness, because
price.
Cheapness kind of makes it sound
Well, I'm talking about price.
cheap.
So,
And we know
cheap.
you guys aren't cheap asses.
oh, you are. You watching this, you are. Cheap in price. Not cheap in quality, but cheap in price. Pretty good in quality. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say pretty good in quality, cheap in price, round count, and also ability for like accessories and shit, I guess.
I'll agree with that.
You know, and mag compatibility. Those are my things I'm looking at for a cheap, not a cheap, but a budget pistol for sure.
Yeah, because this that's definitely the reason that we're saying that is because this is, not everybody's working with the same budget. I mean, I might be working with a different budget than Josh here.
Right.
So
now, if you're watching this,
changes.
I honestly think if you're watching this video in 2020 or further on down the line, guys, in 2020 we had or have had a huge, massive spike in people, 4473s going out.
Well, not only that, but also, and especially in the
background checks is what we're saying.
In the state of Tennessee, concealed carry permits have been issued in 2020. They have went out like hotcakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of people have been taking concealed carry classes. Yeah. Tennessee actually changed the laws to where you can actually do an online portion to do concealed carry only rather than concealed and open.
Right.
So if you do the online portion, you can conceal carry only. So a lot of people have been doing that. So like we said, firearm sales
through the roof
and concealed carry permits have been issued out the roof as well.
Crazy amount of people that are finally realizing that they need something to help protect themselves or their family if that thing arises or that thing happens to make you do so. Yeah. And I would agree. You need to carry a firearm every single day. In my opinion, everybody should carry a firearm. We would have a polite and safe society if everybody would just carry a firearm, in my opinion. So that's another subject for another day. What we're talking about is this firearm. Well, these are multiple firearms, but it's pretty much the same one. And I think that these all started with the Taurus Millennium Pro G2. Now, I think that they had one before this, before the Millennium Pro G2, didn't they?
I'm not sure.
It had a couple things wrong with it, like some trigger stuff was wrong with it and stuff like that, I think.
But this one revolutionized this actual firearm.
Yes. Millennium Pro G2. It says it right there on the side, Millennium Pro, or it says Millennium G2 on it.
Now, this one was the PT-111 model, right?
PT-111 model, yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah. So this is the one that it pretty much all started with, the PT-111.
So this firearm, if you guys didn't know it, and we actually have several videos, this thing has actually been with us since we started this channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the firearm, so it's probably got...
Dude,
holy cow.
I know that the last time we did a video on this firearm, it had 4,000 rounds through it. So at that time...
That's at least been a year.
Yeah. So
it's not longer.
So this has 4,000 plus rounds through this firearm, and we have no problem with it. The only thing we've had to do to it is that, well, we didn't have to do to it, but there was a company that got to us, and I swear I can't remember the name of the company, but they make triggers for the PT-111 and the Taurus, this Taurus model, and it takes it from double action, single action to just single action.
Right.
So instead of, another pull that you would have, it just goes to, and I don't know if you can actually hear that. Instead of an extra pull you would have if you had a light primer strike, you go bang and you bang again, there's nothing. It's just single action like you would any Glock or anything like that. So this firearm has actually been through a lot. It's been through a lot with us.
Torture tests, shooting it, throwing it.
Like we said, over 4,000 plus rounds. Now,
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like it's way over 4,000.
I think it is
Because
too.
it was at 4,000 the last video that we did, and
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And every now and again, we'll take this thing to the range and we'll just shoot it. I mean, just to have it, we'll shoot it, we'll train with it, because this is a side firearm for both of us. I mean, this is something that if I've got to pick this up in a pinch, I can, and I can be proficient with it.
Yeah. Now, why we're saying the Taurus is the best is because it went from the PT-111 you have here to this G2C, which was the next version of the PT-111 series. I don't know why they renamed it, but they did. So it's called a G2C. Says it right there on the side, G2C. Man, this firearm is basically under $300.
Yeah.
Which is insane. You don't see firearms that have this amount of stuff with this firearm at that price point. Now, this thing is a polymer framed striker fired pistol that is double action and single action. So you have double strike capability, right?
Yep.
So basically, what is that good for?
Okay, so imagine this: you're in the heat of the moment. You're putting rounds on target downrange, and for some reason, you got a hard primer or a light primer strike, or you never know. Well, at that time, you pull the trigger and you get just an empty click.
Right.
So in your brain, if you don't go to like a James Yeager class or whatever, and you know that you're supposed to take and strip that round out,
Tap and rack.
Yeah. And you're just thinking about pulling the trigger, well, you can pull it again and get another strike on the either light primer strike or hard primer, and hopefully it goes off. If not, you're going to want to.
We've had several times where we've had white box, Winchester white box, and it's had a shitty primer or hard primer, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And we've, dumped it out, picked it up, put it back in the firearm, fired it, and it went off. So that's what he's saying. Basically, if you have a hard primer and you go click, no bang, I'll be honest with you. My opinion is you should definitely do a tap and rack that thing out of there, and then you try to shoot it again. Don't just try to pull the trigger until it goes off, in my opinion. But it's there in case you need to. Let's say there's always one-handed manipulation things you can do, but let's say you only have one hand, whatever. Anyway, this is the G2C version of this, and it also works just as good as this original PT-111 Millennium Pro G2. I think they changed the name to G2C because the name was so hard to do.
Yeah.
It was a PT-111 Millennium Pro G2 is what it was called.
That's a lot. That's
a lot, man. So G2C was just way easier. And this was okay. This was an okay pistol. Like we said, under $300. What are you looking at under $300 out there right
Sky,
now?
High Point.
Both shit.
There's tons of firearms out there, but none of them are good.
We haven't even reviewed or even put Sky on our channel because they're such piece of shit pistols. Seriously.
They really are.
I mean, we shot one, and Josh had one because his girlfriend at the time had one beforehand, right? So he had one. Shot it. Dude, piece of shit fucking firearm.
I'll agree.
Terrible. Anyway, so you got Sky, you got High Point. I'm talking under $300.
Now, that's the thing, too, is I think that when I bought my G2, my Millennium Pro G2, or, big mouthful of firearm garbage.
It's a Taurus.
Yeah, it's a Taurus.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The PT-111 G2, that's a mouthful. It really
PT-111 Millennium G2.
But I think that I bought mine probably like 4 years ago on a Black Friday deal, and I think I paid $199 for it.
Dude.
$199.
Yeah.
What can you buy for $200? You can't even buy 1,000 rounds of 9mm right now for $200.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, guys, is sometimes you can find these things on deals, Black Friday deals, Cyber Monday deals, whatever. They'll be, $200 or less. Or you can go to your pawn shops, your local pawn shops, and you may be able to pick one up used for $200.
That's true. That is exactly what he's saying. But brand new, they're like $270.
Yeah,
brand new out the box, $270. And it not only does it come with the handgun and a magazine, it comes with 3 magazines.
Yeah. So
they give you a quality pistol. Let's be honest. Taurus has not been that great as far as their reliability in their handguns prior to these handguns.
Yeah.
So everybody is shit on Taurus, and that's fine. I mean, deservingly so, let's say, right?
Yeah.
But since they created this PT-111, and even then since they created the G2C, they have now created the G3C. And it's even better than these two.
And the thing is what you get with this firearm, opposed to the other two, is I'm speechless.
Yeah, I mean G2Cs are great. Buy one if you want, but if you're going to buy a Taurus and you're going to spend $270, G3C is where it's at.
Yeah, because not only does it have everything that these have, now it comes with a metal sight set.
Yeah.
Not only that, you have,
it's got the upgraded trigger in it for sure. So before, these little dongles stuck out when you shot it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody complained about it. Well, when you shoot this thing, has a flat face trigger now. It has the top metal sights, right? Slide serrations on back and front. It still has a safety, which kind of sucks in my opinion.
Now, the thing is they took away the loaded chamber indicator on the top.
Also, yeah, that's great.
So, I mean, it's, that you're carrying a firearm and that you're carrying it loaded. So what's the point of having a loaded chamber?
I'll be honest with you, weight difference. There's a little bit heavier weight to this one than there is this one too. But I'm telling you.
Front slide serrations here. I mean, it's not much, but it's enough to get a hold of. I mean, if you're John Wick press checking, I mean, cool for you. Press check your Taurus all you want.
This is a very simple pistol that basically mocks a Glock, in my opinion, as far as the way it looks, as far as the square ability of it, or ergonomics, or whatever you want to call it. I'll be honest with you. Besides the long take up, I like the actual trigger in it.
Yeah, it actually has a decent trigger. Now, is it my favorite trigger out of every pistol that I own? No, it's not. But is it something that I could take to a range, I could take to a class or whatever and work with it?
One thing that we didn't talk about in the video that we did on this thing,
hey,
what?
I think the battery's done.
Hold on. All right, sorry, we had to change the battery. But what I was going to say was, in this G3C, and actually on all of these, I don't think we said this in our video, this has a round back on it. If you look at Glocks, they're all square. That's really good for concealed carry, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, I don't think that this firearm is going to print quite as much as your square firearms like Glock, FN Herstal, or something like that.
You got a point that's going to stick out on your shirt, basically.
Not only that, but they've also beveled the front of the slide, and not only that, the front of the frame. So that actually helps with reholstering. Yeah, and
it still has a light on it, or a rail for you to put a light on it, and I think they even have their own brands of lights.
Yeah.
But man, you can still got like the Picatinny kind of rail that you can use for a Glock, like a Glock light or something like that. You put on
a
there.
Laser light combo or whatever. Now, the thing that I like most about it is, and you didn't say anything about this, is the aggressive stippling on the frame.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's no need to send this thing off and have it stippled.
Yeah.
It's really aggressive. It's gonna stick in your hand, you know. The trigger undercut, it's kind of, you won't get your old Glock knuckle with this, So there's no need to do an undercut bevel or whatever. It's actually a good firearm.
So, like we said, we have the PT-111, you have the G2C, you have the G3C. All of these are in the same price point, under $300, $270, $279, something like that. So you have these for concealed carry. They all carry 12-round magazines. And like we said, they come with three 12-round magazines, which is awesome. They also have the bigger brother to the G3C.
The G3.
The G3.
Now, the G3 is more of a duty size firearm. Now, it has all of the same options of the G3C, except for the sight. The sight system looks a little bit different. Now, this actually has a blacked out rear sight and a single dot sight on the front on the G3C. Now, the G3 actually has a 3-dot sight system that is metal. Now, it's just a little bit different. Yeah. Still cool. It's not as ramped as that.
One thing that is cool about the G3C is that this will actually accept Glock sights. So any company that makes sights for Glock, Trichicon or, Mariglow, whatever. Anyway, any of them that make sense
I
for
didn't
Glocks.
know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Yeah, that makes that firearm even better now.
Yeah. So basically, they have the dovetail design just like Glocks do, and they actually put in their marketing ploy that it also takes Glock sights. Yeah.
That's nuts, guys.
Also the front too. Same thing. I didn't know you didn't know that. Anyway, that's cool.
Know that. That's even better. That's even cooler than that's a cooler firearm than I thought it was.
Yeah. So
now the G3 does not take that.
No, this has a big wide dovetail in it. It's the same thing like these do. It's almost like it's almost like Smith and Wesson or something. Like it's massive.
Yeah.
These are plastic sights on the P2111 and the G2. They're G2C. They're plastic sights. This one has metal sights, but
is it metal or are these plastic? No, those may be plastic, guys.
Yeah, they're plastic. Sorry,
Sorry,
they are
guys.
not.
I told you that they're metal. They are not metal. They're plastic. I thought that the G3 series pistols actually took metal sights.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I guess the G3 does not. I'm sorry. My apologies.
But G3C does, and that's what we're talking about is the most concealable carried handgun that's in a budget. But the cool thing, the reason why you can play around with this big brother here is that this gun will actually take the bigger magazines that come out of the G3. Mag compatibility.
What is that, the old John Holmes mag there?
That's the John Holmes mag out the end of it, yeah. No, so basically, it'll hold 17 rounds, man. And when I carry a Glock 26, which is what I carry all the time, he carries a Glock 19, I carry a Glock 26. I carry it because it will accept other Glock mags that are bigger.
You know what I could do with 17 rounds?
A lot.
Miss a lot.
Yeah, true. So you have mag compatibility. You have metal sights on it. You have slide serrations. It's completely blocked out. A better trigger that's flat. No chamber indicator. Rounded back.
Rounded front.
Rounded front. Rounded back. Still got a rail on it. By the way, any firearm that's this small out there, a 43X, 365 is the only thing. 43X, any other small firearms out there, doesn't have the light rail on it. The 365 does. And this
the
does.
new 43X does.
Yeah, but I have not played with one of those.
I haven't either, but it's on the market.
Okay. Well, I forgot about that one. Anyway, this has a rail on it.
The damn plastic sights over there.
So, dude, and these things shoot out of here. Look at this. Pew! So, dude, for
if Brandon was a firearm.
yeah. So
Inside joke, guys.
Yeah. If you want something for a budget under $300 and you're looking for something that is a quality pistol, in my opinion, the G3C is where it's at.
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Taurus has upped their game. They have started putting out quality products. And you can only tell that this is quality because of the decisions that they're making with their new stuff. Our metal sights, all the stuff I just said, basically. I'm not going to say it again.
Yeah.
Mag compatibility with their big brother. That's cool, man. So, in our opinion, the best budget handgun that you can conceal carry, G3C all the way.
I agree.
Guys, thanks for watching this video. If you like these kind of videos and you want to see more of them, hit subscribe and like and all that stuff so you know when we go live and when we put up new content. You go to Ballistic Inc. and buy all of our merch there. You also go to our Instagram and on Parlor as well.
Guys, you can also check out US Law Shield because if you're choosing any other firearm in the $300 or less budget other than this Taurus, you're going to need US Law Shield.
Yep.
You can sign up and use promo code BDGG. That helps out the channel.
Guys, thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Stay vigilant.
Stay safe.
Stay alive. Go check out Taurus G3C. Woo.